the openings and the laying boxes. Yeah, see, of course the lighting, you can see the lighting, then the stairway. Aje wase, mko fiti. Yeah, we are at Kirimo farm again with some nice farm uji. Yeah, so we are here. I'm here today to show you just a few things. As you can see, these are different environment. I've never made a video in this place. It's a chicken coop. It has different features, so I'm here today to show you something. Definitely how for the farmers who are doing the layers, I'm here to show you how to construct a very nice chicken coop for your layers. These are capacity of around 500, and on the ground floor you can see these are floor above the ground floor. So we have a ground floor on the lower level, and then there is this first level. So yeah, basically we have 2 levels, and they can house at least 1,000 of them. And nauliza mbona hazina kuku? The suppliers, they are the suppliers. We have the suppliers that usually supply the layers. Wale wako na parent stock. If you have heard of a parent stock, the parent stock is the stock, the chicken stock that usually give birth to the layers, the brown ones. The parent stock are brown and white. Maybe I'll show you some in a video, or I'll show you. I'll just attach a picture in that video. So what happens is that if you import the parent stock, the male is usually brown, the female is usually white. But now, as you can see, most of the farmers, the layers farmers, they usually have these chickens that are brown, and you ask yourself, where are the males? I also know that there are no males there, but if you go to some of these people who sell the farm, what do we call it? The cocks. They are usually those white cocks. Now they change the color, they interchange. The males become white, the females become brown. Yeah, the parent stock, the males were brown, the females were white, right? Yeah, so that's it. So we are finding a challenge from this part of Kenya. We are finding a challenge to acquire the layers stock. So we were told by the supplier that we should wait until when? Until March. Yeah, right, until March. In order to get the supply. It's quite hard. So if you are able to venture in that business, it's a business which has a very high return rate. And I know because it was achieved even in that place, in that supplier's place where we went to source, there were very many people looking for the layers. For these what do we call them? We have different type of layers. We have the brown ones, we have the white ones, but they are of different types. I'm not very sure of the names of the breeds, but maybe we shall explore in another video once I am able to acquire that information. Yeah, so today we are here to show you how this construction happens, and the different things that are required in order to put up such a chicken coop. We have the net. You can see around there is the window, but the window now has a net, which is it's somehow metallic, or what can I say? It's made of something which is a metal, which is a wire, and a wire is a metal anyway. The other one, the plywood. You have the plywood, tuko na mbao, the timber. We have the iron sheet. I hope you can see it at the position of my camera. I think you can see it. You must be seeing it. Yeah, so basically those are the simple materials. They are the local materials that are used in construction of these chicken coop. What do you do now from there? What are the key things? What are the key things that you should look after in order to achieve the qualities that are required for the survival of your chicken? First of all, rule number one, you should have these openings. These are the large openings for the aeration, and you can see them in this direction, not this direction. These are the direction. I know the camera is not facing that way, but there is an opening also in this direction and this direction, but not in this direction. Why? The orientation is usually very key. The orientation is usually very key in a chicken coop. You can see I'm seated in a, if I face this side, I'm seated in a east-west direction. This is the east, this is the west. So I want to show you something. When you orient your window in this side, in the east-west direction, it means that the window, the sun rays, when the sun is out in the morning, the sun rays will get into the house, and then the birds want to bask under the sun. So what happens? Your birds will go and gather in one place, and then what happens? They just suffocate each other, because they are the weak ones, they are the strong ones. So the weak ones will you can just find that you are losing your birds through suffocation or stampede. It's just like the human stampede. Yeah, that's the orientation. About the orientation, so you have to orientate in a north-south direction. This is our north, this is our south. So why do we orientate in a north-south direction, and then we have close side in the east, in the west, and close side in the east? So when we have a close side on the west, and on the east, we have no sun rays coming in, so the chicken won't have to gather around if there are sun rays. So there are no sun rays coming in, so you are sure that your chicken won't crowd in one place. That's one thing. Then the other thing, no, before we go to another thing, that's we have at least 1 meter of this space. So if you want to add, there are some farmers who usually start from the ground, but as you can see, those are laying boxes. So you cannot start from the ground and then expect that we'll have an opening from there where we have the laying boxes, and we expect the laying boxes to have somehow some sort of darkness. So that's it. The second one, make sure that you have the first one was the orientation and the openings. The openings can be at least 1 meter of height, yeah, and then or you can just extend them up to the top. The other thing is have the laying boxes. Of course, you expect your chicken to be laying eggs after maybe 4 or 5 months, 5 months maximum. I think it's about how many weeks? 18 weeks. 18 weeks is 4.5 months. That's the minimum time that your chicken can start laying eggs. Yeah, so make sure that you have the laying boxes. These laying boxes are you can see they are made in somehow of a sort of way that we have this plywood. This plywood is inclining at an angle. You can see it's about I think it's 45 degrees. If it's not 45 degrees, it's 60 degrees. Why is it inclining? You love your chicken perching there, and you don't want your chicken perching in a very flat surface that we love them pooping, and then if they poop at that place, some of them might come pecking. What happens after that pecking? I can tell you that if you have your chicken pecking at their poop, that is how they usually get the coccidiosis disease. There is the coccidiosis disease, which is usually what do we call it? Which is usually as a result of these chicken eating their poop, and then what happens? You see them diarrheaing. Their intestines are usually affected, and then you can see them diarrheaing. It's usually a mixture of blood and something. Their poop is usually a mixture of blood. It's not the normal poop, the normal chicken poop. So that's it. So you have to make it at an inclined position for hygiene purposes. That's for hygiene purposes. Generally, it's not inclined because of anything else, just for hygiene purposes. And then just make sure that you don't leave so much opening so that we can have enough darkness, or the place should be very dark in order to give a very conducive environment for the chicken laying, or for the chicken to lay. Yeah. Something else is that just make sure that you have a very good headroom. That's number 3. Have a very good headroom for the workers. If the workers are working from this place, they should at least be able to walk. You have it's a height of around 2.7 meters or 3 meters. So make sure that you have a good headroom for the accessibility and cleaning of this place. That's it. And then number four, make sure that the surface is not this bare. As you can see, there are no chicken here. That's why it's this bare. But when the chicken are here, we usually put some sawdust. Make sure that your sawdust is at least 1 foot. You can see that height now. You make sure that the sawdust is at least, you see that timber? Now it's above that timber. It's above that timber level, and it's around 1 foot. 1 foot is around 30 centimeters. For those who don't understand the foot unit, or the foot measurement. Yeah. Karibu ningoe. Yeah. Something else. Why do we have the 1 foot sawdust height? Why do we have that? So I've come to learn many things through research, through experience, through other farmers. What do we have that 1 foot? One thing, the food will pour, or the food will spill out. The food will spill out on the surface. So you don't want your chicken pooping on that food and then doing what? Pecking. That is again coccidiosis. So what do? Make sure that you have that 1 foot deep or a half a foot or 1 foot deep sawdust, so that when the chicken poo and the food pours or food scatters around, what do you you make sure that that sawdust is there in order for the food and the poop to make sure that it is mixed with the sawdust. And that will keep your chicken coop in a nice hygiene, and you can be sure that you won't have your chicken dying because of the coccidiosis and other hygienic diseases. And then what is the other reason? What is the other reason of you having the sawdust at 1 foot height? Another thing is that there is usually these water containers. Sometimes you can see them shaking around. When they shake around, there is usually a spillage of water. So if there is a spillage of water, unafanyaje? Kuna hiyo maji inamwagika kwa floor. And this is what happens. If the water pours on the floor, there is that now bacteria activation. The water usually activates bacteria. For those who know, for the scientists, for the doctors, you know that the water, there is moisture. Moisture is a requirement for anything to grow, Yeah. So what happens? This moisture activates the bacteria. Now, do you want the bacteria in your chicken coop? Absolutely. If you are a good farmer and you want profits, you absolutely don't want that. Yeah. So what do? You put the sawdust again. The sawdust usually absorbs the water and it dries it very fast. And with that, you are left with a dry surface. So I am just trying to get if there is something else that I have left behind. Make sure that you have the curtains. The curtains, the plastic papers, they are not here already, but we usually have the plastic papers. when it's cold or when it's at night, there is kuna hiyo baridi, or there is usually that breeze coming from the sides. As you can see, the sides, the openings are very large, and the other side it's a very large opening, so the air is usually flowing, and it's a very cold air, so you don't want to lose your birds. So what do? You buy those plastic bags. They are usually sold in a meter size, so they are quite very long. You buy a very long one from one side to the other, from that end to the other end. So when it's cold, or it's in the evening, you just drop them, so that when the air blows, there is no breeze inside the chicken coop. Another thing is, of course, the lighting. You have to add the lighting. You have to make sure that you seal the holes around. Just make sure that you seal the holes around, so that we don't have rats, we don't have snakes, we don't have the mice, and what else are we preventing? Yeah, such things. Simply, we don't have the rodents getting inside your chicken coop. You can be sure with that you will be raising a very good flock, which will not be affected by any condition and diseases. And then we have to make sure that you have a foot dip. You can see these are my gumboots. Now there is a foot dip at the far end, where there is a gate, where you're coming into the house. There is a foot dip, so that you make sure that everybody who gets in here, for the biosecurity purposes, you just foot dip. I don't know, maybe I can take a picture of the foot dip which is there. You just foot dip. You can choose to make a container. This can be your foot dip. This one, you can just take out a container and make it a foot dip. You just put in the water, you place it at the door, and then you foot dip, and before entering, since you might be carrying microorganisms or the bacteria or anything from wherever, or the diseases, you see. So when you foot dip, at least you do what? You are preventing your chicken from contacting the external environmental organisms and the diseases, so that you can be, what do we call it? Your biosecurity can be at a high level. So basically that's it. I don't think there is something else to tell you today. I thought that I should give you a summary of such a house which we should construct. If you want the measurements, you can contact me. If you want to do I personally supervise the construction of this house, so until the end. So if you want any information that you can check with me, just feel free to contact me. We are situated in Meru, Kenya. Yeah. So I want to show you around. I want to show you something. Yeah. So this is what I was talking about. The openings, the laying boxes. You can see. These are the openings. The openings and the laying boxes. Yeah. See? Of course, the lighting. You can see the lighting. Then the stairway. Make sure that the stairways are open, closed, or they have the railing for security purposes. Yeah, you can see stairs. There is that net for security, and so that the hens from the ground floor cannot get up to the first floor for a mix-up. See? Yeah. So it's a busy house here. Then the foot dip, one which is not complete. Yeah, so basically that's it. Yeah, and I think with that you can do a farming of around 1,000. You can do a farming of around 1,000 hens. Yeah. Si baadaye bana. Siku ingine.